Hi, welcome to A Shaman in Suburbia. I am Victoria Hawkins, and I am going to start today by just guiding you a little bit on what shamanism means to me and my exploration of this amazing art form from our ancestors. So, a little background history. I didn't grow up that connected to my ancestors, but part of my family is Native American. On both my parents' side, my mom and my dad, we have Creek Indian, also called Muscogee. They're in Georgia, Alabama area. And then a lot of them actually banded with other tribes down in Florida and became Seminole tribes when some of those cultures were pushed out to the west. So a few of them actually came down, and that's where we get the Seminoles from, which are now considered native to Florida, but really they came from many different places and joined down here in Florida together. So as I became an adult, I was very interested in learning a bit more about this aspect of who I was. And so I began to explore my roots. And what I began to find was I was very drawn to the love of the earth that Native American cultures has cultivated in the past, as well as those that stay true to that now. And I just wanted to learn more. So that's what I'm going to show you a little bit. So you see around me, I have all of these tools and books, and this is a small sampling of some of the things that I have collected over the last maybe 9-10 years of beginning to really dive into the understanding of my culture, but also really for all of us, we all have some indigenous roots, whether they are from here in North America or possibly Celtic, which is also a different type of native indigenous people, and they have their own cultures that we would also call or that used shamanism as well. In India, the way I perceive yoga, which is also a huge passion of mine, is that it was yoga and Ayurvedics was the roots of what we would consider healing arts in India. And this is a lot of what shamanism is. It's about the healing arts. And really a shaman is someone who connects with the earth energies and with divine energy within us to bring things back into balance or harmony. So pretty simple. They do use rituals often and tools that represent different characteristics. And we'll look at a few of those today, just giving you a sampling. First, I want to show you though some of my favorite books. And this is really how I started, was looking at books. I love books. So you can see that my Animal Spirit Guides book is very well worn. I'm pretty sure it has sunscreen on it because I took it to the beach and was drawing and it got sunscreen all over it. So this is a very well loved book of mine. And the cool thing about the Animal Spirits Guides book, which is written by Stephen Farmer, is that it's going to give you a quick look at what your animal spirit guides might be, or even power animals. And later at another episode we'll go into that more deeply. But I want to show you an example. So today the raccoon came up. So we're going to look at raccoon and what that might mean. So what Stephen Farmer says is, if a raccoon shows up, it means, in spite of any doubts you may have, the resources you need for the current situation are readily available. And he goes into more ideas. Another one that really popped up for me today was, it's important to remain emotionally and mentally flexible for the next few days, as events will require you to adapt to rapidly changing circumstances. And you can see here, there's a picture of the raccoon. So this is one of the first resources that I used when I began to pay more attention to the fact that maybe animals were appearing to me, and sometimes they were actual animals, and sometimes it would be a picture of something, like maybe I saw a picture of a hummingbird over and over and over again. And then I happened to actually see a hummingbird as well. Well, then I would go to my book and I would look at that. What is that message for me that's happening? This is a way to connect with those animal spirit guides. I also used another tool from Stephen Farmer quite a bit in the beginning, and I still do, which is messages from your spirit guides. And these are great little cards. Like this one's the honeybee, and it says, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. And you can get a message, and then you look in the little guidebook to learn more. These are great ways to begin to connect with a big part of this beautiful, amazing earth that we live on, which is our animals and insects and water animals as well. And a lot of those you'll find in these books. As I wanted to explore more about what shamanism really was and what it entailed, I also loved two books that I'm going to show you. Earth Magic. This is another one by Stephen Farmer. Apparently I like him a lot. He's a very easy read, and I feel like he makes some of this information just very easy to take in and understand for yourself and use. So this is a great book on ancient shamanic wisdom, healing yourself, others, and the planet. And he gives great ideas of some of the rituals that you might use, blessings and prayers, just everyday stuff. And then the other one, this one's a little bit older of a book by Diane Stein called All Women Are Healers, a comprehensive guide to natural healing. Rich with so many tools about using things like essential oils, Reiki energy, acupressure points. It's amazing and beautiful. You can see I love it a lot. I have lots of markers in there. So I have a ton of books. I may show you a few more, but I want to come over here for a moment. This is what I have termed my traveling altar. So one of the things I found was that I would want to collect some special items that I would put onto my altar, and really the more that I have them here, the more that they feel blessed. And some of them are fancy and some of them are very basic, and I want to show you one of my basic ones that I'm in love with. This one is a stone, just plain old river rock stone that I found in Georgia near Ellijay, which is a portion of Georgia with some mountains in it. I love to hike and mountain bike. On this particular trip, we took some little rafting or kayaking trip, and I found this cool stone. Looks like a potato, nothing special to it, but the more that I've used it and held it, the more that I feel that I really have connected with the energy of just like being yourself. This beautiful little kind of unassuming potato rock that I love. And then other things might be a little fancier, like I have this cool quartz point. It grew naturally this way. It has some rutylation in it with maybe some copper or something. A really beautiful stone that I purchased. I didn't find this one, but it is in its natural form. So I do like to connect and use stones. You'll find I have some shells here that I found near Apalachicola. Gorgeous beaches up there, which is here in Florida. This is another one I found. So I'm going to show you this too. This is my sage. Now, being a woman in Suburbia here, I live in a house, not a tent or a hut or anything like that, or in the woods, even though I do sleep in the woods sometimes. And I actually don't burn sage in my house a whole lot because we have some things in there that the smoke of the sage can't affect. So I have alternatives. I do use my sage. I also use my Palo Santo, which I love, holy wood. I use these to clear energy and to neutralize my home, or my space, or myself. But if I can't burn those for some reason, I have sprays that I've made. Actually, this one I've made with flower essence that I created, some essential oils, salt, and water. And I'll spray those to clear myself, or my home, a room. You just feel like a little crackly energy sometimes. If I am using my sage, we have a windy day out here today, so lighting this didn't work, but that's all right. Pretend that we have a lit sage. I would waft the smoke all around my body, and I'm just clearing, neutralizing, putting myself in a space of being in harmony with my inner wisdom and just being in a place of listening to that. I have other beautiful tools here that I use all the time. For sound, I have my singing bowl, a great way to open and close a meditation time or a yoga practice. I have a pine cone that I found outside that I just really loved. And my special lotus beads, which I use for my own mantras. often. And these are also well loved. They even have a little paint on them because I wear them sometimes when I'm painting and creating. So I might use one of my favorite mantras, which is Sat Nam, means I am truth, and touch each bead. And that also puts me in a space of that harmony and a place of listening. And from that place, we can make decisions. So I wanted to introduce you to one more little item that I have, and this is one of my favorite things that I have created. I wear it sometimes on my walks through my neighborhood. It's a little medicine pouch, and I made the strings long enough so that I could tie it around my waist and take it with me. Inside, I have some stones and crystals that I might use as I walk around holding them in my hand. And I also have a little bit of tobacco, which is a traditional form of offering a blessing to, like, maybe a tree that you come upon that you're going to rest under and commune with. And you offer it back something, maybe a little bit of water or a little bit of tobacco leaves. So sometimes I'll walk around with my little medicine pouch, just connecting with the nature in the area. So I just wanted to offer you this little introduction today. I hope this helps to spark your interest to explore what shamanism might mean to you. And maybe that is just connecting with the earth energies that are here around us all the time. Thank you. Namaste.